With that, welcome into our countdown to tip off our high school hoops preview show. Chris Roush, Brett Kennedy with you for the next 30 minutes, going through all 10 city teams and much more. Brett, we've got a lot to get to.
So many teams to go through, and we're going to start with the Central girls, as the Indians, they're going to look a lot different this season compared to last year.
The Central High School girls basketball team is coming off a 17-9 season and a second-round district tournament defeat. This year's Central team will be a lot younger and smaller in height, however, but head coach Roger Smith is looking forward to the different challenge of coaching such a young group.
Just look forward to see how we react to the atmosphere and just the environment. You know, it's just going to be something a lot of these kids have not experienced yet. So it's going to be interesting just to see how we do. But it's exciting. I mean, I think that, you know, we've got a chance to grow this year. We just got to keep trying to get better every time we get out there, and we'll see how we do.
But as the season begins for this team, the unfortunate injury bug has taken hold of some of the veteran players.
We just don't have a lot coming back, and so the problem is a lot of people we got coming back are injured too. So I've got two players who played a ton for us last year or aren't going to be playing. So it's, you know, but the thing is they're still here and they're still trying to help these kids. So it's interesting.
Having a combative approach to the game is crucial, and even with a lot of youth, Smith believes that this Central team fits that gung-ho approach.
I think we handle the ball well. I mean, I think I got kids that have got an aggressive mentality, which I like. We're just trying to build some toughness in with that, and you know, you want your players to be like you, and I'm pretty fiery and pretty intense, and just trying to get them to get on that level with that.
On our countdown to tip-off high school basketball show is Central boys basketball coach Jacob Kimball and Shaddai Nabomba. The guys, thanks for joining us here today.
Hey, we're glad to be here.
Well, Coach, we'll start with you. How excited are you guys for basketball to be back here?
Yeah, it's fun. We're excited. We got a lot of returners, and you know, familiar faces bring familiarity, and with familiarity, you know, you get to take things to the next level. You're not starting at, you know, just the ground level, but you're building, and so that's what we've been really talking a lot about at practice, just building and getting better every day. And it's a great group of guys. They're super coachable, and so yeah, we're excited to get on the court.
Yeah, that kind of goes into my next question. You guys do have a lot of returners this year. That's got to make you really excited as a coach that you don't really kind of have to start at the ground level and you can kind of just pick up kind of where you left off last season.
Yeah, and you know, in a lot of ways, it's kind of simple stuff, just terminology and understanding, you know, what I'm saying when I say it and just carrying that over onto the court. And so having those guys that are now kind of my voice on the court because, you know, they've been out there for a couple years, I mean, that just makes everything a little more exciting going into the year, that we just know that, you know, we've got several guys out there on the court that can be coaches on the court.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Shaddai, I'll ask you this. What's the biggest strength? I know it's early for you guys, but what do you think the biggest strength of this year's team is going to be?
I feel like our biggest strength really would be our just chemistry, you know, getting into play with these guys. You know, we have the same core we've had for now, I think, 3 years basically. And so now, you know, being that moment where we all have the same amount of experience, we've been through the same things, been through, you know, the ups and downs together. So just, you know, finally getting on the court and just bringing it all together, I feel like it's going to mesh really well this season.
I'll ask you the same question. I'm sure that makes you feel a lot more comfortable with guys that you played with before back this year, and that's got to make you more excited here as the season gets ready to roll.
Oh, yeah, it's very exciting because, like, it's more, you don't have to worry about, you know, little things. You know, everybody's on the same page. You know, you have the same goal in mind. So it's really just going on the court and doing your best to get the W.
Coach, I know it's early, but this group that you have, how far can this team go, would you say?
You know, I think, and that's a hard question to answer. You know, I mean, at this point, kind of taking it day by day, but we're excited about the season. I think, you know, last year we played in a lot of really close games. I think in games that were decided by 3 or less points, we were 2-5. And so we're looking to flip that this year. You know, I think last year was a lot about learning how to win. And now I think this year our next step is learning how to win in crunch time.
Cannot wait for basketball season to get underway. Gentlemen, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to join us here.
Yep, appreciate it.
All right, have a good day.
Yeah, do.
Plenty more to get to here, including a dive into the St. Joseph Christian boys and girls basketball teams. We'll visit with both programs later on in the show.
And the Benton Cardinals girls basketball team, coming off a second place finish in Class 4, will preview their upcoming season next on Countdown to Tip Off. Welcome back to Countdown to Tip Off. Chris Roush, Brett Kennedy with you. We roll on and we take a visit down to the south side of St. Joe.
That's right, and Coach Boone and his Benton Cardinals for boys basketball.
The Benton Cardinals boys basketball team enters year 3 of the Jared Boone era. The team is coming off of a 12-15 season and a second-round defeat in the Class 4 District 16 tournament. The Cardinals team returns key pieces from last season, which is a nice change for Coach Boone.
This will be the first time in my coaching career that I return the bulk of a team and I don't have to start over brand new. And I mean, the leadership and the guys that are returned, I mean, you can definitely tell a difference.
He's pushing us day in and day out, so he's always working us to our limits and making us, taking us out of our comfort zones, you know, building us for March once again.
With familiar names returning, the bond this team has made this squad tighter, with a solid group of upperclassmen leading the way, which is crucial heading into another tough season in the Midland Empire Conference.
Love our chemistry right now. I mean, the guys all hang out, they all have fun, you know, they hold each other accountable because they all know we got a big goal in mind.
This year we've worked hard all summer and all fall, and we're ready for the season to start.
And that prove-it mentality will look to drive this Benton team this year.
Sky's the limit. You know, we're loaded with that P word of potential right now, but, you know, potential's only a word for something you haven't done yet. So, you know, I'm very, very excited. The boys are very, very excited, you know, but it's going to be an uphill climb. You know, we just take it one day at a time.
Our countdown to tip-off rolls on with the Benton girls basketball team. Eliana Rumbala and Andrea Simmons joining me on the show now. Guys, new season, new opportunity for this group. What excites you the most about heading into this 23-24 season?
I'm super excited because we've got a pretty fresh young group right now, and we've got a lot to prove, and I'm really excited because we've been working hard at practice. So we're looking pretty good so far.
Yeah, I think everyone's taking it real seriously since, coming off the last 3 years with the team, everyone is kind of wanting to just get that win at state, and so all the freshmen coming in know that they have to help with that.
Obviously, it's hard to replace players like Peyton and Kelsey from last year's team too, but how do you guys feel like you two have grown as basketball players, you know, during this off season and getting ready for this year?
I feel like last year's state championship loss was like a big sting, and so it really motivated us to work super hard on this off season. So I'm excited to see what we look like.
Yeah, I think that's definitely true. Just as our thing to come back with that second place, and just this year, just that definitely motivation factor.
You know, obviously a state championship loss is the huge motivation. How do you turn that from like a negative into that positive? Like you said, it's motivating you guys. You guys aren't dwelling on it, but it's motivating you guys too.
I feel like it's definitely motivation because not every team's in the place that we are where we went to state. And so, we're one out of, I don't even know how many schools in Class 4, so, it's nothing to be, hang our heads about and just, take it in the next season and be we have something over, our shoulder. I don't know what that, expression is, but, have something with us, and we just have to, prove that.
Yeah, it gives us confidence, but also a bit of a chip on our shoulder. Because, yeah.
Andrea, Eliana, thank you for coming on, and good luck the rest of the way this year. We'll be watching.
Thank you.
So the Benton girls returning some key players from last year's team, and so is the Lafayette Fighting Irish. And Lafayette also welcomes back a familiar face as its head coach.
We have a lot of incoming freshmen that are going to give us some help, and then we have people returning from last year.
The Lafayette Fighting Irish heading into the new season with a lot of returners.
It's good because we already have that bond, that connection to be able to make plays.
Including the return of the program's former head coach, Ryan Madison.
We're really, really athletic. By far the most athletic team I've ever coached. We got, our first 7-8 kids just really get up and down the floor.
Madison retakes over a program at a school that he loves, and this team is ready to get the year started.
I think we got several kids that can contribute on this team and help us. And I think, again, our athleticism is really good. I think once we kind of learn how to defend, it'll be really hard to score against. And I think we're going to be a really good rebounding team, too. So offensively, we have some kids that can shoot the basketball. We just got to get that kind of all figured out. But again, we get a shot off, there's a likelihood we're going to go get the offensive rebound between Honor and Emery and Lanai, Carragher. I mean, those guys, are athletic and tall and can go get the thing. So hopefully we can create some extra opportunities for us that way as well.
We roll on here in our countdown to tip-off show, getting you ready for the high school basketball season. And joining me now, Lafayette boys basketball team, Ethan Zeit and Antonio Williams. Thank you guys for coming on. Coming off a really good year last year, what's the excitement level you guys have going into this new season?
I'm definitely excited. After coming off our state third place, I'm definitely really excited to get back onto the court with the Lafayette guys.
Yeah, it's really exciting. Not a lot of players have been able to play varsity last year, so I just want to see what they're going to be able to step up and yeah.
That's going to be a big piece of this, right? A big senior class. You guys had graduated last year, some key guys. What are you telling the younger guys as they're getting thrown into these new roles this year too?
Definitely that they're going to need to step up because, it's a lot different than what they're used to. And there's a lot of big shoes to fill, especially for me and Antonio, along with everybody else. We're really inexperienced, so definitely we're going to grow as the season commences. But definitely, we're just going to have to learn. We can't get super discouraged early on because we're definitely going to have to learn a lot of the way and mostly just to learn and get better throughout the season so we're ready to go when playoffs come around.
Really just tell them to stay the course, be calm, know that the moment will be bigger than what it is.
As you guys take over these leadership roles, how do you feel like you guys have grown so far as you guys are now the guys leading this team too?
Thank you.
I definitely can tell through practice. We're definitely have to be a lot more vocal and really step up and make sure that these guys who aren't experienced with a lot of how the varsity practices go, definitely really show them how it is. Definitely, because since we had experience with a successful team, we know what needs to be done to be successful. So definitely we're going to need to pass that on to these newer guys.
Yeah, our head coach, KB, he's been trying to teach us positivity for the younger kids, don't be too hard on them and try to uplift them to be the best as they can.
Yeah, definitely be positive, because everybody's going to mess up. So definitely we want to just keep them positive, keep them up so they'll play better. They won't play as good if we're always beating down and getting mad at them. Definitely if we just stay positive and really be constructive, that's definitely going to be really a key part. And
Ethan, Antonio, appreciate you guys coming on, and good luck the rest of the way, and we'll be looking forward to watching you guys as the season goes on.
Yep, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Still ahead on Countdown to Tip-Off, one of the best small school girls basketball players in the state signing to play college basketball close to home.
And the Bishop of Blonde basketball programs preparing for their seasons. We'll take a visit out to check in on them after the break.
Welcome back to our Countdown to Tip-Off high school basketball show. And Chris, we're talking about the Tigers now.
Yep, Plattsburgh Tigers coming off a third place finish in the Class 2 state tournament last year, and they return one of the best basketball players in the area. Isaiah Howard, the senior, returns to lead the Tigers for one more year, and he's already signed to play college basketball at the Division I level for North Dakota State. Let's head over to Bishop of Blonde now. The girls basketball team coming off a second place finish in the Class 2 state tournament last year. The Golden Eagles returning quite a bit, but also had to replace 4 key seniors. It's a new look Bishop of Blonde girls basketball team.
I think the seniors this year, we've got 5 of them, and I think that they're willing to take on that role and step up and be vocal, and I think it's just going to be a transition to them embracing that role, and we've just had those other girls that have kind of set that tone, all 4 years, and they're kind of going to just have to, figure it out and learn from their mistakes. And I think if we all just, build together chemistry at practice and games, it'll be another successful season.
The Golden Eagles do have some returners from last year's second place state finish team, but it's now their time to take over and lead the program.
We've always had this good team chemistry and these good bonds here since we're so small. We're already pretty close, and so going into a new class this year, we're still we still have this mindset. We have this like new mindset, like we're playing new teams and we're doing new things and we have new people. So we're all kind of excited for that, and we're just like trying to help each other improve.
So last year was really special, and we wanted to it was a lot of fun. So we want to show that with the younger kids and say that it can still be fun, we can still win a lot, and that's how we were so close last year, because we just all had fun together.
We roll on here on our countdown to tip-off. Joining us now, the Bishop LeBlanc boys basketball team head coach Mitch Garris and junior Jacob Winkelbauer. Guys, thanks for coming on, and looking forward to a new season for you guys. A lot of returners on this team, but Coach, start with you. Just what is the overall thoughts heading into this new season?
Yeah, we're excited. It's kind of we do, like you said, we have a lot of kids back from last year's team, but really there's just be quite a few new faces too, and it's just another year for these guys to kind of grow up and get better. It's going to be a little different style, a little different feel to it, but we're looking forward to getting started. Jake,
for you, back-to-back district championships for this program. Obviously, that state run a couple of years ago too. Just where do you feel like your role is expanding now as you're a junior on this team?
I feel like we got to find like someone to step up since we're losing Jake Carell and Lane Garner last year. And I think me and probably Chris Moljavik start to like fill those roles. Hopefully, we can do that throughout the season.
Coach, you mentioned different style this year. When you had a guy like Jake Carell who go score quite a bit for you, how much does that change maybe with the offense and what this team will look like this year when he was a big part of what you guys did last year?
Yeah, and losing somebody like Jake is a lot like what a couple of years ago when we lost all those seniors. Guys that have been in your program for 4 years and understand what you want, and they've had such success that it's hard to replace that. So we're not going to really ask any one kid to do that. Style-wise, like I said, we're going to be a little different as far as we're going to play, hopefully score around the basket a little bit more and try to get some looks inside the paint. But you still have our kids on the perimeter that are going to be able to make some shots. But it's just going to be different. It'll be a different feel. We kind of got to figure it out defensively too. It's that part of it for me is always the most important. And, this group's got a little ways to go when it comes to that. But that's kind of what your season's for. We'll build up to that, and hopefully by the end of the year we'll be clicking at the right time.
Coach, Jake, thank you for joining us tonight on our countdown to tip-off. Good luck this year, and we'll be following you along the way.
Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it.
Plenty more to get to, including a dive into the St. Joseph Christian boys and girls basketball teams. We'll visit both programs later on in the show.
And one of the best small school girls basketball players in the state signing to play college basketball, and she'll stay close to home. That's next on Countdown to Tip Off. Welcome back. The Platte Valley girls basketball team has been one of the best in the area and the state for the last few years.
And one of the key pieces on the team is Maggie Collins, who's headed to play college basketball, and she's staying close to home.
This last year of build-up has just got me really excited for this moment, and this is it. This is the big day. I'm officially a Bearcat. I'm just super excited to be a part of that team, a part of that family. I've been in this area since I was little. I've always supported the Bearcats, and they've always been my front runner, my dream.
She's worked really hard her entire career, and to see her, have this opportunity just makes me really proud as a coach. But, she's just a phenomenal player that's worked really hard for that.
And now joining us on our Countdown to Tip-Off high school basketball show is St. Joseph Christian senior stud basketball player on the girls squad, Chloe Burnham. Chloe, thank you for joining us today.
Yes, thank you for having me.
How excited are you that basketball season is here? I can't believe it's already here.
Yes, I'm so excited.
I can imagine. Talk to me about this team this year. You've got a lot of returning players from last year's squad. Danica Wattenberger, J.C. Jorgensen, Ella Frudenthal, yourself. You've got to be excited to have all these returning pieces here.
Yes, I am so excited. And we also gained someone that got hurt at the beginning of last year, and that will be a really big impact on our team this year, so I'm excited.
I can imagine. I know it's early and you guys are just getting underway here, but how's this team going to look like this year compared to last year, would you say?
I think we will be very experienced this year. We kind of know what to expect from other teams. we want to get another district championship this year, and that mindset I think will really help us this year.
What would you say, and again, I know it's early, but what would you say that the biggest strength of this year's team is going to be?
I think our biggest strength is that we're going to get up and down really fast, and we're going to play fast-paced this year. Our defense, I think, is really, we have something different going on this year, so I think that will really help us, and we'll see how it goes.
And you got a big day coming up here, your signing day this week. You're signing with Seward County Community College down by the Oklahoma border there. What kind of sold you on them?
Their coaching staff was amazing and made me feel at home and so welcome. Their campus is just really nice, and their gym actually was probably the coolest gym I've seen out of all my visits. And I don't know, God really just led me to go here, and I'm just following his path.
That's Chloe Burnham from the St. Joseph Christian girls basketball team. Chloe, thank you again for joining us and taking some of your time here to talk to us.
Yes, thank you so much.
Now, as for the St. Joseph Christian boys, they're ready to get the season started, and our very own Darren Doyle checked in with Neil Hook and his team.
St. Joseph Christian boys basketball are coming off an 11-15 season. Although head coach Neil Hook is optimistic for the incoming year, with everyone returning plus a few extras.
We have our 5 starters coming back from last year, so I think that extra experience and wisdom and knowledge that they gained from last year and playing in the tough conference that we played in, a lot of tough tournaments, is definitely going to be beneficial for us as we carry on to this next year.
Especially whenever helped by the seniors.
I just think we're older. We had one senior leave last year, but I just think as a group we've matured and just come up as a team. I think this year will be a good year. So.
Besides all the returners, the Lions are loaded with new blood eager to learn.
I like that we have a lot of kids coming out. It's good for our school to have more than 10 kids. And I like how we have a lot of freshmen who are ready to drive us and push us upperclassmen harder and try to get us to where we want to be at the end of the season.
St. Joseph Christian hoping to improve this incoming season. I'm Darren Doyle, KQ2 Sports.
And over at Riverside High School in Kansas this week, senior standout Taylor Weiser signed her national letter of intent this week. She will head to play for Central Missouri and play for Dave Slifer in the MIAA.
Don't go anywhere. We'll wrap things up when we come back here on the Countdown to Tip-Off. Stay tuned. That will do it for our Countdown to Tip-Off, our high school hoops preview. We're at a lot of great teams in the area, in the city. A lot to look forward to this year.
Yeah, there's some really good talent from this area, and I can't wait to see which teams are the contenders, and we'll see who the pretenders are this coming season. I just can't believe basketball season is already upon us.
Basketball season is here. Jamborees are done. Now it's time for the regular season. We'll find out who ends up chasing those state championships. For Brett Kennedy, I'm Chris Roush saying goodnight here on Countdown to Tip-Off.